Hello, my dearest. What's happening? Okay, it's Friday. This will get you in through the weekend. We got that full moon in Libra energy on fleek. It's coming up, you guys. It's in a couple of days. Actually, it's tomorrow. All right, so here's the deal. Do you guys ever think about the difference between predictability and possibility? Okay, I'm really discerning that energy now. And yesterday I spent time with an astrologer who was reading my chart. And it was an interesting conversation, and I appreciated everything he had to say. And he was sharing with me things that were somewhat a learning, but also things that I had kind of already known. And it was a good conversation. I enjoyed what he had to say. I enjoyed his perspective. It was interesting. He also said some things I didn't like, and I didn't need to hear. And you know, it had me thinking about how I channel and how we as a collective receive information, and how we as individuals can make decisions to help, you know, pave our own way. And whenever somebody does a reading or somebody's doing a psychic, you know, you're getting psychic work done, or you're looking at a chart, an astrology chart, that energy, you could argue, is a predictable frequency. You know, when you're looking at numbers, it's pretty much a code. You know, it's an algorithm. There's a predictable sequence. There is a cause and effect. So you have this sort of duality mindset. So here's where I'm going with this. Can I use these cards to help gather some information for the energy that's currently happening? Absolutely. I think the most important thing, though, to remember when anybody listens to a reader or does a tarot reading or listens to a psychic or what have you, is to really remember that energy can be transmuted, and that even though there's a predictable sequence based on some sort of logical code, there's also free will. There's also the quantum. There's also infinite possibilities. So even though you might hear something and you might hear a sequence of events and there might be some duality, consciousness there, cause and effect, well, it seems like this is the predictable nature in which this is going to go. And so I can, you know, say X, Y, and Z. What's really important to remember is that as long as you transmute your energy, transform yourself, transform your personality, which is what we've been talking a lot, or I've been sharing with you guys a lot about in that the philosophy behind the Joe Dispenza work, which is all rewiring the way that your neurocircuitry is so that you can create a new reality for yourself. Because when we're looking at predictable sequences, there's a predictable outcome. If you don't like the way that you're being presented with a particular outcome, change it. Manifest something new, because that's what's possible. There is predictability, A plus B equals C or whatever. There's also possibility, and that is not a numerical code. That isn't necessarily the same functionality of an algorithm. It's a mystical experience that shifts and transmutes the energy, which then in turn changes the code. It changes the predictable outcome. So I say that to you because I think it's really important that whenever we are channeling, doing readings, listening to readers, how we're going on our journeys is to just really be open to infinite possibilities. Because, you know, whenever I do a reading, I'm channeling energy. And I'm doing it in a way where I am really intentionally attempting to be an objective vessel from an objective perspective. But at the end of the day, you're getting the frequency from my lens. Even if I'm mirroring off of the collective energy, it's still through my mirror. Okay? So that's really the, you know, the disclaimer, the caveat, the you know, the important piece to remember whenever we're really looking at how we create our realities, that we are all 100% responsible for the realities that we create for ourselves. And if there are things that we like and we don't like, there is this opportunity to transmute energy. So anytime you have a reading done, I think that's a really important, anytime you listen to a reading or have a reading done or talk to people about mysticism or the tarot, astrology. I mean, you know, try not to get hung up on, well, this person's this sign. Should I be dating this sign? It's really more about how conscious are you to the energies? How conscious and responsible are you to transmuting what is possible? If you don't necessarily like something, or you love something and you want more of something, you know, how do you then create that energy? That might not necessarily be, you know, a predictable sequence there. So just, you know, food for thought, you guys. I digress. I don't want to spend too much time going on about that. But I, you know, was having this conversation with my girlfriend Lauren today. She asked me about some things about how I wanted to do some work going forward. And I've been doing teaching on intuitive development and taking some stuff on sacred geometry and quantum healing. And I kind of want to take this experience of what I'm learning, plus the knowledge that I'm gaining from the other work I'm doing, and kind of create something autonomous, independent, something different that is got its own frequency. So stand by on that. All right, let's see what we get with these animals. You guys, maintain objectivity. Don't try to shoehorn yourself in every reading. This is a general reading. I am channeling a general collective message. This is to inspire you, to give you some insight. I tend to stick to watching readers who can channel in that way, and I find their readings to be really interesting and powerful, and I enjoy them. So I want to share that with you as well. So I hope you enjoy the energy that I channel, and that you are able to objectively take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay. Friday, March 26th, 27th. I don't know. It's Friday. Here we go. Yo. Koala Spirit. Spirit has a plan. Ant Spirit, time to collaborate and dream the world into being. All right, you guys. You might be kind of in this place right now, like, what in the world am I doing? Which way am I going? What does this all mean? I think it's going to be really important that you can be open to collaborating and creating something that might be a little out of your comfort zone. And I think it's going to be really important that you continue to live your truth. You continue to stand bold and fearlessly in what you're manifesting, regardless of what you're told, what you think, what your limitations are. Get out of the way of your limitations and start living unlimited, okay? Start being an unlimited frequency and really let go of the past, what didn't work, overcome that and transmute your energy. See how your neurons are firing and wiring. See your unconscious programming. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself, you guys. Okay, surrender to the flow. Use your intuition. Don't be misguided. Take the external messages with a grain of salt. Hear what people have to say. Hopefully it resonates. And just remember, you are the leader in your own life. And when you can get over yourself and your ways of being, you become the master. Your mind starts to have mastery over your unconscious programming. And that is where you receive the empowerment to create any reality you want for yourself, okay? So let's see where we go with this. For today, Friday, March something. Queen of Cups, Three of Swords, Ten of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, baby. All right, so there is some hurt that you're going through. Three of Cups right there. Flow, that's a good sign. Knight of Cups, World, the endings and the beginnings. Three of Pentacles, Justice, Nine of Swords. Okay, you guys, Moon, this is really key here. Why is that? What is that about? What is that Seven of Swords about? All right, you guys. In this full moon energy, I think it's going to be really critical that you release and let go of whatever false idea around how you might be holding yourself back, your limitations. It's going to be really important that you really learn some new things about how you experience, how you're going to experience your new grounded, rooted reality. And really moving through the stagnation and making some decisions to really powerfully heal and step into your own space of empowerment, okay? What does it mean to have all of your needs met? What does that mean? What would that feel like? What would that look like? Who would you be being? How would you be acting? What would you be saying? Like who in the embodiment of that frequency, what would your personality be like? Practice that, do that, live that every day. Become that. Release and let go of whatever energies interfere in your ability to really trust yourself. Let go of emotional agreements that you have with people who you turn to rationalize or justify your lower vibration behavior. Lots of threes here. So what that makes me think is there is energy here about like third party. And what I mean by that is not necessarily third party in a sense that you're like, you know, like when readers talk about third party, they talk about relationships where there's a third or there's a cheat or there's a drug. How I interpret this can be in that way as well. But the way I see that is any additional energy in your space blocking you from aligning with source. So that could be all of your unconscious patterning. That could be your doubts and your fears, your addiction to sadness, and depression or victimization, or your addiction to your broken heart. To all of your baggage, to your material possessions, to your drama. What really needs to be transmuted is your energy around distractions, burdens, anything that gets in the way of your internal alignment. So I think it's going to be really important that you get grounded in your heart chakra, and work together, collaborate. You got this card a couple of times. Three of Pentacles, collaboration. You got the ant spirit right out of the deck from the animal oracles. What do you need to do to collaborate to maintain balance, to create and be balanced? Is it collaborating? Is it an internal collaboration with yourself? Like listening, being able to hear what you need. So what I need is really to not, is to get grounded. That's what I need. I need to be really grounded right now, tangibly. I need to work through a lot of things. I'm making a new business plan. So going out and having fun, although it's fun, it's a distraction. So I need to do some internal collaboration with myself to create the space to actually make sure that I am structurally making a schedule to work through all these details, so that I'm not just squandering my time, so that I'm not just wasting it on nonsense. So it's like really collaborating with yourself, your internal self, to create a structure that allows you to align with source, to continue to move along on your mission, toward your mission, in your mission. Rooted, grounded, healed, empowered, and trusting of the unknown. Trusting of the unknown. The moon and the outcome card there, you guys. This is a time to really release and let go of imbalance. Whatever is not in balance needs to go, because truth and integrity need to come forward. All right. So let's see where we go with this. The 10 of Wands is crossing the Queen of Cups. So whatever is heavy on your heart, whatever burdens that have kept you from really doing what you love, okay, what keeps you from really being able to express yourself emotionally, what thwarts your ability to say what you mean and mean what you say. Okay, so let's see, what's blocking you here? Lovers, Page of Wands, Five of Wands. Conflicting messages around there's a lot of messages around how to have relationship with yourself and relationship outside of yourself. So there's a lot of conflicting messages around how to do that. A lot of noise, what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, how it should look, how it shouldn't look. Be grateful that it doesn't look this way. If I hear people tell me anymore that they're happy that something in my life didn't work out, I'm going to give them a big flippin' bird. I don't need to hear that. Do you need to hear that? Do you want to hear that you're happy for me, that something did not work? Even though it was my hope that something would manifest in a way that would have been empowering, even if there are lessons in that, even if that was meant to happen, even if there was karma in that, do you really need to share your opinion about a hardship that another human is faced with? I mean, that I find to be kind of intrusive. And it could be right. It doesn't necessarily have to mean you are right or wrong. I think the point I'm trying to say is that we're all on our own journey, and maybe the best thing to do is to keep your thoughts about somebody's experience to yourself. I don't know. And just let people be who they are. Let people be empowered and loved, and trust that people are going to make the right decision. And I'm speaking this to myself as well. It's not like I don't get triggered by people who've got stuff and I'm like, what are you doing? And it's like, people are just at where they're at. And so if we can just all empower each other to really grow and become the best versions of ourselves, and help people cultivate that experience for themselves, that's what it's all about. But not telling people how they should or shouldn't be living. What works for you? Okay, let me know what works for you and I'll see if that works for me. But what works for you might not necessarily work for me. But what I'm going to do is trust my intuition. That's what I'm going to do. Anytime somebody asks me to give them a reading, anytime somebody asks me, what do you think? My first response to them is, what do you think? What does your intuition say? What does your heart say? Not what does mine say? What do these cards say? What do you say? Because you know your life better than anybody knows your life. And if you're not conscious to it and you're looking for it from the outside, then you need to get conscious to it. The outside world isn't going to solve the problem of your internal consciousness. That is something that has to be found within you. Do I think that every person can heal their body in a profound way? I absolutely do. If you don't think that, but I think that, and you're sick, and I say, I think you can heal yourself, but all the other messages around you are saying no. Are you going to necessarily trust me? Probably not. Probably not. So it might not even, but this is the thing. You have to be open to possibility. And part of the reason why I was able to heal myself and my own body is because I was able to see the results in somebody else. I was able to see from a perspective, from an outside distance, that somebody else had massive injury from a pretty high impact experience. I saw an athlete break bones in a really hard, fast impact. So I was in a car accident. My car was going very fast. It was a very fast, hard impact. I was 17 years old. I had major injuries. I'm very lucky to be alive. I'm very fortunate that I was able to overcome that experience and transmute my energy to become something else. How I was able to continue to navigate through that experience when I felt like I had to just surrender to what I was told, which is that I would need to accept that my body had these limitations. How I was able to overcome that was because I was able to see somebody else overcome massive injuries and then get back up and be an athlete. So it was Lindsey Vonn. Lindsey Vonn has had massive injuries. And even after her injuries, she has gotten back up and became an Olympic athlete after she had those injuries. And so I was like, how is this possible? How is this possible? How is she able to overcome these things? What did she do? So I say that to you to say, or I say that just to say, if you are open to what's possible, to transmute your energy, to change your life, look at how somebody else did it. Ask them what worked for them. Go over here and ask this person. Start to get interested, and then start trying out some things for yourself, and then create your own ways of being to help you overcome your own structures, your own self-care routines. I could tell you to meditate. I've been meditating every day since the beginning of 2020, and it has changed my life. Do I think you should do it? I absolutely think you should do it. Are you going to do it? Is it my responsibility to tell you to do that? No. Can I tell you that it works for me? Yes. You have to come to that on your own. I can't tell you that. Okay? I'm fasting. I've never felt better in my life. I'm vegan. You want to be vegan? I'm going to go with 90% of you don't. If you do, it will change your life. How are you going to know? You're going to have to try it. The discipline associated with that might not be the most exciting thing that you want to take on right now. But I would say I would highly recommend it. It's changed my life. I feel healthier and happier than I've ever been. I think the combination of fasting, the combination of eating vegan, having lower stress in my life, there's all kinds of things that you can do to level up, evolve your consciousness. Okay, so let's see. Where are we going? I'm sorry, I digress. Where are we headed? Messages from your higher self here. Emperor, 4 Wands, 10 of Swords, Death. All right, you're transforming the experience of how you thought things were going to go. You're in a transformation space. You might have thought something was going to go in a particular way where you had hopes that it was going to look solid, like it was going to go the distance, that you really expected something to manifest in a way that was celebratory. And it could have been you thought you were going to spend your life with somebody. You thought you were going to have this job. You thought you were going to have this life. And that has ended. And now you're transforming. You're rebirthing. That experience is transmuting. That energy is transmuting. You're in a whole new timeline. We're jumping timelines now, folks. The world as we know it has changed time. All right, let's see. Where are we headed here with this? Ace of Swords, baby. Six of Cups. Star. All right, here's what I know. By being able to see the truth and really stay gracious in the face of sadness, in the face of disappointment. And by being able to see the truth of the past, you'll heal and you'll become completely enlightened into what's possible going forward. Okay? It's like this magic moment. Okay? That's what's happening right now. You're in a magical moment of transformation, being honest with yourself about how the past has had an effect on you, how the present has an effect on you, how your ways of being have an effect on you, and how to change your personality so it reflects your personality. So your personal reality transmutes into something incredibly powerful, okay? How does that look for you? What does that mean to you? How do you want this to go? What do you want your future to look like? Yang, a change in the wind, deep knowing. High Priestess out here twice, you guys. Moon out here. There's something really happening right now. There's something in this full moon energy that is transforming everything. So just trust the integrity of what you're doing. Trust yourself that things are aligning in ways that you can't even know, but your intuition does. So trust your intuition. Allow for the change. The change has happened. The past has changed. By transmuting your energy, your experience of that will change. It will no longer have the same charge. It will empower you in ways that you won't even see possible until you open up to what's possible. All right. Have a good weekend. I know that was a long reading. And it's late. Sorry, I'm late. All right, you guys. Happy day. Happy weekend. Look for that full moon reading. I will see you on the other side. Bye.